A very good evening to you. Welcome to KTN Weekend Prime this January the 17th. This is the point of news. Welcome to our bulletin tonight. My name is Yvonne Okwara Matole.
My name is John Allen. Welcome to the bulletin tonight. And we've got lots for you in store, including what's right behind us on the Super Wall. Let's just walk to it now. And technology has failed us, but here it is now.
Yeah.
The question that we are asking in the wake of what was one of Paris and France's worst terror attacks in a long, long time, the attacks on the Charlie Hebdo newsroom and those subsequent attacks in which 17 people died, brought to light this question because of the controversy that the controversy that was stirred in some of the cartoons that were published by Charlie Hebdo, and the discussion around that. What is the right to offend, especially in these times when we are dealing with terrorism? How far is too far, Yvonne?
And those are the questions, and this is something that has torn communities apart, including newsrooms, for everybody who's been following this. I believe there's many newsrooms that have done that. Thank you for joining us tonight. Unconfirmed reports indicate that a female trader was today shot dead during a confrontation between demonstrators and police in Thika town.
The traders were protesting against the closure of the Makadara market in Thika's Makongeni estate by the county government of Kiambu, and 4 lawmakers, including MP Alice Nganga, stormed the market and forcefully reopened it.
A convoy of cars led by Thika Town MP Alice Nganga zoomed into Madaraka Market. She was accompanied by 3 lawmakers from Kiambu County, but she found a contingent of police officers with instructions not to allow anybody inside the market. Alice demanded that police reopen the market for traders, but the officers were unrelenting. They lobbed tear gas canisters at her. Officers also cocked their guns, ready to repulse a crowd of traders that was gathering. Some fired live bullets in the air to disperse the agitated crowd. More tear gas was thrown at Alice Nganga, and her aides had to rush her to safety for a breather.
New policemen who have come in, and I know they want to kill me. I will die with my people. I will die with my people. This market, how much money are we losing for nothing? They have paid. I have the receipts they have.
After a cat and mouse game between MPs and police, the lawmakers finally managed to forcefully open the market.
So the Sikwava is almost 30 boxes. Now, moja saizi tunauza na 45. That is almost 135,000 yenye imepotea.
Tukaa hizi tunaenda hasara, nani atatulipa? Na hii ndio hasara kubwa sana.
Kitokea tena.
Na tujui kama itatokea tena, tujui saa hii tumeingia itaenda mpaka wapi. Labda ni leo tena, kesho tuko nje.
The fracas started Friday when police engaged traders in running battles for over 8 hours. Traders lit bonfires and blocked the main highway leading to Thika town. Thika OCPD Shedrack Maithia led police in stopping traders from accessing the market. The angry traders had threatened to forcefully break into the market. Kiambu County government had allegedly closed down the market over failure by traders to pay the required rates. But the market chairperson, Jane Wangunyu, denied they had refused to pay the rates. She said the traders had complied and had receipts to prove it. She said the traders had complied and had receipts to prove it. Thika Town MP Alice Nganga joined the protesters in demanding the market to be opened. During the confrontations, police clobbered some of the traders who were caught in the fracas, inflicting injuries on scores of them. Police also lobbed tear gas canisters at journalists who were interviewing traders near the market. 2 journalists were injured. Patrick Amimo, KTN, Weekend Prime.
Let's move on now. Now, after telling the whole village of Bungoma that her husband wasn't circumcised, Asha Nalongo today told KTN that she never meant to betray her husband, but was only looking to improve her marriage.
Right, and the man himself, James Asega, seems to have accepted his new status and decided to move on happily. Najma Ismail has the details.
It all started here at Chwele Market, where an excited crowd gathered to either participate in or witness yesterday's drama in the county of Bungoma, the forceful circumcision of 39-year-old James Asega. Today, KTN sought out the woman who set all in motion. We visited the home of James Asega. It was evident that area residents were still excited about the ordeal. His once frustrated wife, Asha Nalongo, who secretly arranged for his circumcision, could not hide her joy.
Rafu nikamwambia wewe unajua pesa yako kama uwekangi, sasa nifanye kazi kwa siku 3, wakinipa pesa alafu tutoroke tuende hospitali. Akasema hapana, ati ni sawa tu. Mimi nikapata pesa nikampatia. Nilimpatia hiyo siku hakuonekana. Akasema atakuja kesho yake, nikamuuliza twende. Sema ngoja mimi pia nipate pesa. Alafu tupate paka matumishi kwa nyumba mpaka na matibabu, alafu nitaenda. Wenye alinyamaza hivyo mimi pia nikanyamaza tu hivyo.
According to Asha, her husband's situation took a toll on their marriage. For several years, the couple quarreled over the issue.
Kwanza hapo ndani ikawa kwamba sasa mkono itembee kupigana hapo ndani kama wanaume. So that if family ikawa kwamba kama wewe ni mwanaume kamili basi ujiondoe, huvu kila mmoja avue. Sasa mimi kwa nikasema mimi hata nikivua bado kutakwaje. Akasema sasa unaweza decide aje. Unaweza decide OC ama mtoni.
The man who carried out the circumcision on Asega paid him a visit to see how he was healing.
Mimi mtu akitoa manguo na awe na hiyo kombi ya mama yake na waimbe wimbo wa Bukusu inaitwa si oye, lazima nimtairishe, kwa sababu watakuwa wamenitoa mahali ambapo damu ya mama na baba imetoka. Kwa hivyo saizi hakuna kizuizi kwamba nilifanya kinyume. Hapa awali wazee waliotairiwa hata 39 hata Jumapili walikuwa wanatairishwa, lakini sasa watu wa saizi kusikia kwamba ativali hiyo sio desturi.
Area residents narrated how they managed to trap Asega and circumcise him.
Tukaenda naye kama tunaongea tu polepole, tukafika mtoni. Yenyewe si kumjapa chochote, nitoa udongo na kuchapa mwenzangu kimila yetu. Nikaona roho yake akateremka, nikamwambia sasa tuelekee mbinguni.
Hata mimi wakati nimegundua ya kwamba hajatairi, shoko ilinishika. Kwa sababu nimekuwa nikitairisha wadoko wangu na nilikuwa napeleka naye kutairisha. So amekuwa amenishangaza sana.
Forcing Asega into taking the cut is against the law, but the Bukusu people say they will not hesitate to perform the cut on any other man who hasn't been circumcised.
Watu wangu ambao watawasachi hivi karibuni, tuone kwamba kila mmoja awe na usafi, sababu huu usafi unasaidia mtu asipate virusi na awe msafi.
Asega now says that he's ready to start his new life with his wife. Najma Ismail, KTN.
Let's move on to some politics now. And Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka and David Musila have revealed that today that a Coalition for Reforms and Democracy CORD is considering having joint nominations in 2017 to avoid splitting the opposition vote in the general elections. Speaking in Yatta during a Wiper leaders meeting at Kalonzo's home, the leaders also read the Riot Act to Wiper elected members of parliament who would not toe the line with the ruling and were collaborating rather with the ruling coalition Jubilee while acting rebellious inside court.
Tuligundua shida ambazo tulipata hapo uchaguzi uliokwisha kwa sababu ya kushindana. Mtu wa Wiper anashindana mtu wa ODM, mtu wa ODM anashindana na Ford Kenya, alafu hapo wengine wanapenya, wanaingia. Kwa hivyo tumeamua kama coalition kwamba kutoka wakati huu na siku zijazo kama coalition tutakuwa na candidate moja katika uchaguzi wowote.
Uwezo wetu na nguvu yetu ni siri moja, ni Kalonzo na Raila kutuweka pamoja na Wetangula, tusimame kama ile miti pale mnaona vile iko, uwezi kuona pande ile.
And I also want to say within the framework of code, vile code itasimama, msifadhaike na wapinzani wetu. kuiba mafikira yetu, lakini nataka hivi kodi itakuwa vile NAC ilivyokuwa wakati tuling'oa KANU mamlakani.
From Yatta, let's take you to the United Arab Emirates now, where Kenya was earlier today elected to the vice presidency of the World Agency on Clean Energy. The move follows Kenya's massive investment in non-polluting forms of energy, such as geothermal power. The election came as a new report suggested that the cost of such forms of energy could fall further. KTN's Joe Ageo reports from Abu Dhabi.
On the edges of the Persian Gulf, life is tranquil and leisurely. But the city of Abu Dhabi is playing host to a meeting that is taking the world back to the basics of life, how to power homes and economies. And with a growing recognition that oil might not be all that it was meant to be, clean energy is a big subject here at the 5th Assembly of the International Renewable Energy Agency, IRENA. And Kenya has a story to tell here with its growing investments in geothermal and wind energy.
We come in as vice presidency. We come in.
Kenya has now been elected vice president of this assembly that brings together more than 170 countries from around the world in recognition of its place in the world of clean energy.
Currently, we're doing 51% from geothermal with 38% hydro. That puts us at 89%. You hear many countries struggling to touch 10, 15, 20%.
On our latest report,
a new report released at the start of this meeting suggests that the cost of deploying these newer sources of energy has dropped dramatically over the last year. And IRENA says oil is already getting a run for its money.
We've seen with renewable power generation technologies there's a continuous improvement over a number of years. Between 2010 and 2014, for instance, the cost of utility-scale electricity globally has halved.
We want to see what Germany is doing to be able to bring down the cost of solar.
We have the opportunity at low levels of penetration for the variable renewables, which are solar PV and wind, to actually help many developing countries.
Now, with this difficult terrain, this is a region of the world where for several decades now oil has been and meant everything. But with the uncertainty now surrounding that commodity and the growing international pressure about the impacts it's having on the climate, even here, a conversation about an alternative to oil is now very much alive and well. But even the optimists know that it will be a while before renewable energy becomes the new oil. Joageo, KTN, Abu Dhabi, in the United Arab Emirates.
Now, the art of newspaper vending is often considered by many as a job for school dropouts. But as our Nyanza reporter Victor Ogale found out, 2 men in the region have come to break this notion as they've achieved what most people in white-collar jobs have not. Here now is the story of Lawrence Otiato Otoyo Ojuang and Andrew Ochieng.
You are most likely to find Lawrence Ojuang Otoyo somewhere along the busy Busia-Kisumu highway. After all, it is his office and has been since 1981. Having marked his 50th birthday on the 16th of January, Otoyo also celebrates his achievements as one of Kenya's oldest newspaper vendors, a job he started after his father's death in 1980. Otoyo first went to school in Uganda, where his father worked before the crisis during Idi Amin's reign.
Nilikuwa introduced na jamaa fulani ambao alikuwa akiuza pia.
He is worried though that the steady global technological advancement may soon render him jobless as information moves fast through social media. While many may consider newspaper vending as a last option, for Otoyo it was a lifeline. He has raised his 10 children on the proceeds of this job.
Nikuweka akiba kidogo kidogo. Hiyo ndio imenisaidia sana kwa sababu nilikuwa nimeanza kuweka mbeleni wakati tulianza 81 sikuwa naweka akiba. Nilikuwa napeana yote kwa mikono ya mama. Sasa nilikuwa nafaulu napata 800 kwa mwezi. Hata 600.
Yenye anafanya kwa gazeti
ndiye alitoa chini kwa mchanga mpaka dakika hii, kwa sababu kama hiyo gazeti angekuwa hakuna, sisi singepata hata mtoto aende shule. Angemaliza standard 8, niambia mtoto, wewe sasa tulime na wewe nyumbani.
Like Otoyo, 50-year-old Andrew Ochieng has also sold newspapers for over 30 years. He plies his trade along Oginga Odinga Street in Kisumu. His eldest son is currently studying mechanical engineering, while his daughter is at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology pursuing mechanical science. With his experience, Ochieng can predict the performance of a newspaper just by reading its headline.
1997 mpaka 1990 wakati Oginga Odinga alikufa, gazeti ilikuwa naenda sana. Alafu baadaye wakati marehemu huko alikufa, gazeti ilikuwa naenda sana. Na hata wakati wakati wa referendum kati ya chungwa na banana, hiyo gazeti, that whole year gazeti ilienda sana.
These two gentlemen are proof enough that it's not the job but what your attitude and what you make of it that determines your success. Victor Ogale, KTN, Kisumu.
You know, I absolutely love that story. Two of his children are studying some absolutely wonderful degrees right here in Nairobi. My question is, he's been selling newspapers since 1981.
1981. That's quite amazing. But I think the lesson there for me is really just to love what you do, no matter what it is that you do. And that really is admirable, whatever it is, wherever you are in Kenya doing whatever job that is.
That's true.
Just love what you do.
So where were you in 1981?
Was I even
no, I'm not sure you want
figment.
I'm not sure you want to reveal your age on national television, but you know, great story there. Let's move on to another great story. Society now deals with those who sin against it by restricting their freedom and putting them behind bars. And inside prison, many people lose hope and spend their days counting the hours until they can come out again.
But a group of prisoners in Nairobi's remand allocation have defied prison walls and are now professional dancers. Fatma Pole has this story.
You envision prison to be tough and unpleasant, a place filled with shady-looking characters living in regret. This is not the picture at the Nairobi Remand Allocation Prison. The beautiful graffiti on these walls greet you on your way in. The work of inmates in here who have defied tradition.
Group, who are we? Come on!
Instead of languishing in their prison cells as they serve sentences or await trial, this group has chosen to rewrite the script. A few years ago, they were just new inmates from different walks of life, but today they stand tall and united. They have chosen to travel beyond the rigid prison walls with dance, which is the closest they can get to uncontained freedom. Enter Ronald Watemba, the leader of the group. For 4 years now, this prison has been the only home he knows after what he describes as a case of mistaken identity.
I have hope that I will go home because I never murdered anybody.
Ronald is in here for murder, but that has not stopped him from dreaming.
There is a song that's been sung by Sarabi. Sarabi, they have sung a song known as Oyaure. It's a new dawn. So it's an opportunity for the young generation, you know, to know about their talent. You know, the world is evolving, so we need to teach them something.
His teammate, Frederick Odhiambo, is in here for robbery with violence. He has been nicknamed Wrong Turn by his peers for occasionally missing a step in the dance routines. Dancing is his only connection to his loved ones.
Zenye dance iko kwa life yangu na ndio nataka niifanye hadi familia yangu pia ifurahie, nikitoka nikuwe na familia na hiyo kitu nafanya.
Dancing is not the only talent he has discovered inside here.
Do not waste your time, you know, beggar stand tall, take your time for the choose for your friend.
Frederick's only dream being that one day he will be able to perform without any restrictions.
Kama juzi ilikuwa Kisumu, fuata mtu anaogelea. Ati alikuwa anafanya nini? Anaogelea.
wazimu akafita, akaenda kachukua nguo yake. Ule jamaa kumuona, anamkimbiza, anasema nishikie wazimu. Sasa ule ametoka kwa maji na wazimu. Wazimu ni nani sasa hapo?
He now understands the value of freedom.
Ukiwa hapa ndani unakuja kurealize ile kitu ulikuwa unafanya si poa. Na although ilifanyika, sikuwa na expect naweza shikwa. But juu nimeshikwa, nimeweka hapa, mimi naweza sema na give thanks to God. Juu labda ningekuwa hiyo raia, sijui ningekuwa wapi.
But their story will not be complete without the Recreation Resource Inspector Johnston Musyoka, who is literally the glue that binds them together.
Siku hizi jina limeenea, tumekuwa watu wakubwa, jina kubwa siku hizi tunaitwa mpaka mashow za nje, yani na vilipua sana jo hivi vijana wangu.
Musyoka understands that this is no ordinary dance crew, but he is determined to make it work.
Niko poa.
Even if it means putting his best foot forward.
Nikaona vijana nao wako na ile hamu ya kutoa talanta yao. Nikaona sasa wacha hata kama niko senior officer, acha niweke mawe yangu chini, niweke ukubwa wangu chini.
His only wish being that once these boys are out of here, the society will accept them.
It's the only way tutakuwa tutasaidiana. Sisi tutarehabilitate. Now society yake ni kuchukua. So tukirehabilitate na wakoza kuchukua, that's why you find majority of them wanarudi back to crime. Sababu sisi tunawakubali wanatoka vizuri, huku wanakataliwa. Sasa mmetusaidia nini?
As a team, their love for dance is evident in the different ways they exploit. 1 minute they are trendy dancers break dancing to the latest beats, and the next they are zangalewa with a comical routine. One step at a time, each day as it comes, the Kanga Africa Dance Crew continues to defy the prison walls, and to their fellow inmates, they are heroes. Their faces are different, and they are fully aware that this might be the closest they get to freedom in many years. Still, they dance on with not a single care in the world.
Nairobi Remand Allocation Prisons receives over 1,000 new inmates each month, and at least 800 are released each day. While some are transferred to other prisons, others are lucky to go home, carrying with them the different skills they have acquired. Fatma Pole, KTN.
An action-packed and sporty day rather it has been. Welcome to today's edition of KTN Sports. My name is Moses Wahisi. Now starting us off, African 5,000-meter champion Caleb Mwangangi Ndiku won the Sportsman of the Year Personality Award yesterday evening. Eunice Sum won the Women's Sportswoman of the Year Personality Award yesterday evening at an event that was held at the KICC. Take a look.
After a good sporting year that 2014 was, it was time for Kenyan sports personalities to be feted. Caleb Ndiku Mwangangi was the man of the night. The 23-year-old who among his accolades won the World Indoor 3,000 meters champion in Poland, the Commonwealth 5,000 meter championship in Glasgow, Scotland, and the 5,000 meter championship in Marrakesh was named the overall sports personality of the year.
Caleb Ndiku. Caleb Ndiku Mwangangi.
Mwangangi had earlier beaten boxer Rayton Okwiri and steeplechase champion Jairus Birech to the Sportsman of the Year award.
You have awarded your real buffalo. I think this is a real guy, and now I can prove to you that this is a real buffalo in 2015 too.
IAAF Diamond League champion and world 800-meter champion Eunice Jepkoech Sum was crowned the Sportswoman of the Year, ahead of fellow Commonwealth champion Mercy Cherono and Faith Kipyegon.
It has really motivated me to work even extra hard in the coming year, even as I'm going to defend the World Championship.
Young golfer Chanel Wangari was named the most promising girl, while Ronald Kwemoi won the most promising boy. KCB RFC bagged the sports team of the year, with Orange Telecom taking the ladies team of the year. Nikhil Sashan and Joyce Wambui were named the sportsman and woman of the year with disability respectively. Robinson Okenye, KTN Sports.
Now moving on. Cabinet Secretary for Sports, Culture and Arts, Dr. Hassan Wari, was told the embattled sports bodies to put their house in order. Athletics Kenya chairman, who was at the event during the SOI Awards, was also on a key note that he has not been ensuring that the sports body is doing what it's supposed to do. We filed that report and see where the doping issues got rather some very tight warning to those athletes who use the drugs to enhance their performance. Take a look. As expected, doping menace in the country was a subject during the 11th Sports Personality of the Year Awards, held Friday evening at the KICC. With Rita Jepto, who tested positive having used the banned blood-boosting drug EPO, being the last tint in the face of the Kenyan athletics, Cabinet Secretary Sports and Arts and Culture, Dr. Hassan Wario, was at it condemning the vice.
And people like those join the other side of history, the left side of history. People like those belong to the hall of shame, not the hall of fame.
Strongly advocate for fair play and clean sports at all levels in our sports.
Athletics Kenya has been on bad books for some time now, and after failing to cooperate with the Moni Wekesa-led task force on the anti-doping, Athletics Kenya governing body has been blamed for doing less so as to curb that menace.
But someone has to take a blame. When all this was happening, when our Kiplagats and Athletics Kenya were very quiet, and there's no athletics to talk of if we continue like this, Bwana Kiplagat. In fact, when I got a letter from AK, I thought you guys had resigned. You had done the Mudee thing, which is a good thing to do if we are messing up athletics.
The corporate sector was not left out, with Safaricom threatening to end their partnership with federations that don't adhere to the ethics of sports.
At Safaricom, we are reviewing our partnerships in the sports field with a view to ending any relationship that we feel is not 100% ethical. It is not negotiable.
And in regards to the sports management in the country, a stern warning that many will be eager to see an action to spice it was in the offing.
If you're given a job to manage, manage it or you go out. Most of the federations, some people think that the federations belong to them. They don't belong to you. The federations belong to the people, sportsmen and women, who are in that federation.
The 2015 Kenya sports calendar is expected to be action-packed, but with key sporting hurdle having been part of the sports growth in 2014, sports critics are urging Cabinet Secretary to walk his talk and put up the larger Kenya sports in order. To matters athletics now. Caroline Chepkoech and Geoffrey Korir are the winners of the South Rift Bomet Cross Country Series, which was held Saturday morning. Geoffrey Korir took the men's title after clocking 21 minutes and 26 seconds. In the ladies' 8 kilometers race, Chepkoech rather fended off title position from Joyce Chepkemoi to take the ladies' title. More than 300 participants from 5 Bomet sub-counties including Sotik, Konoin, Chebalungu, Bomet East and Central were fully represented at Saturday's South Rift Bomet Cross Country. After seeing off stiff competition from Joyce Chepkemoi and Lucy Liavoka, Caroline Chepkoech maintained her lead in the females' 8 kilometers race to finish fast, clocking 24 minutes, 44.3 seconds, and that is ahead of second place Joyce Chepkemoi, who finished the tie after 25 minutes, 4.5 seconds. In the male 12 kilometers race, Geoffrey Korir from Bomet East fended off title position to finish fast after 21 minutes, 20.36 seconds. Nicholas Kisombe from Sotik crossed the finish line second, clocking 21 minutes, 30.36 seconds, ahead of that placed Moses Koech.
Saina prepare kwenda kuparticipate kwa World Cross Trials. Tafanyika huko China.
The South Rift Series is set to continue, with counties at that region gearing up for the regional competition, slotted for 31st January in Kericho before the National Cross Country Championship to be held 14th of February in Nairobi.
Okay, all right. We wait to see what happens with the AFCON Championships as they continue. Let us know which team you're supporting. Sounds like it's interesting. No, don't ask me which team I'm supporting. No. I can see where you're heading with that.
Oh, you know, I didn't even open my mouth. Anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's, I don't know, should we do the feedback or should we share this video with you? No,
let me give a bit of feedback first and
let's
then
do
the
the
video.
feedback first.
All right.
Yes.
So Waridhi says, respect one another and we need to highlight what is important to us in reference to the right to offend discussion that we had earlier on. A lot of people talking about Neo and saying that he was quite informative in terms of the methods that are used in terms of intelligence gathering here locally. Yeah, but the bent more or less of this is that people ought to have respect for one another's religions, rights to faith, and rights to opinions.
Yes, and rights to freedom. And freedom of speech is actually something that's happening. If you're not on social media tonight, this is something you might want to turn your attention to. Enoch 254 says, as we talk about freedom of speech, let's take a look at Free Mutai. If you don't know him, his Twitter handle is @itsmutai. He's been missing, I think, for the better part of today. Allegedly being held by CID, questioning him over some of his tweets regarding corruption. We cannot confirm whether indeed the CID have him, but it's something that's beginning to pick up steam on social media and on Twitter, and that's something we'll definitely be watching as we go forward. Thank you for your feedback on that. But all that heavy stuff of terrorism, let's put that aside for just a minute. Now, we want you to take a look at this video that has gone viral on the internet. It's got about 31 million views.
What?
Now, it's of a child who doesn't want to grow up.
It's not Beyonce.
No, and it's not Beyonce or twerking. Who's the one that twerks? Gosh, I'm getting old.
Yeah.
What's her name?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
We're old and great together.
I have a wife to go home to.
Absolutely. All right, so the video is of a child who doesn't want to grow up. Take a look at this.
Do you want him to stay a little forever?
Yeah, he's so cute.
Because he's so cute and it makes you cry?
And I don't want to die when I'm 100. Oh, you are so cute. I love your cute little smiles. Oh my gosh, how my face is little.
What's interesting about that is how her little brother is looking at her like, what's wrong with you?
What is wrong with this? But you know what? The innocence of children cannot be beat. That's really amazing.
Although I have to agree, you know, I don't want to grow up either. I don't want to grow old.
You're already there. So perhaps growing old might be the discussion.
I want to remain cute with cute little smiles.
Well, okay. I shall not give my opinion on the same. But thank you very much for joining us tonight on KTN Weekend Prime. Remember what Yvonne was talking about, picking up steam online, the Free Mutai hashtag. His name is Ibrahim Mutai. He's been posting quite a bit on corruption across the country, and right now he's missing. So try and follow that discussion. We'll also be following that here on KTN as well.
Okay, so thanks for joining us. Tomorrow, we'll have an interesting discussion on Checkpoint. It'll touch on free speech, hate speech, and how free are we in this country to speak our minds, and at what point do we offend others? Is there selective justice? We'll be taking a look at some of the cases and the precedent that has been set, you know, from a few years back, and to see, does it apply only to the common mwananchi, or is there selective justice for those who are in positions of power and influence? That's an interesting discussion on Checkpoint tomorrow. You do not want to miss. Thank you for joining us tonight. Sign language interpreter, Miresha Awiti, at the bottom of your screen. My name is Yvonne Okwara Matole. We'll see you again tomorrow.
And I'm John Allen Namu. Good night. Good luck.